everyone, welcome to the discussion for Role Player and the expansion Monsters and Minions. So what do you guys think?
It's entertaining.
Right? You know, go ahead.
If you were going to, as a group, start a new D&D campaign and you were bored and didn't want to start that night and you wanted to roll characters up, this is the best way I can imagine ever doing that.
Right?
It was a
It's interesting because it's
fun.
obviously
It's a lot of fun.
D&D. But they couldn't obviously pay for the licensing to make it D&D.
I think the name is so fucking
Role Player.
great.
Right.
Right? It's like so on the nose. Hey, roll, and then you're
Because
role playing
when
the
you were
characters.
telling me about it, I hadn't seen the box or paid attention to it, so I didn't know it was spelled like that. I thought it was spelled like role player.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, oh.
Right?
That's good.
It's such a neat concept. Like, if you were to explain this, though, and be like, yeah, you're making a D&D character, it's like, okay. Because a lot of people don't think that that's the fun part. I personally really like character
Because
creation.
when you get Dayquillis.
When you get a name like Dayquillis, no, because like that's whenever your imagination is free to do whatever you want. You can make any character that you want, and then you're limited by the story and the DM after that. Here, I mean, you're still limited by the game. Like, you can't just be like, oh, how am I going to do that? But everything is randomized for setup. Like, your class is random. Well, you'll get to pick it, but what your class is based off a die from the bag. So, like, whatever your color is, oh, well, not that one. It's like, oh, I got red. Okay, so I would get to choose from the red ones this time. It just so happened I got white, and then blue, red, and green. Backstories are all random, and you're going to get a different combination of where dice need to be placed. Your alignment's going to be random, and then all of the market stuff comes out that's random to make it a different game each time. And I think for a dice placement game, I'm going to bring up Sagrada later, which you two will know. You won't. But,
Can't win with a broken window, Seth.
Stupid.
but it's art. Anyway,
It's not.
here, like, I think this has a lot more thought that goes into it, but still enough, like, there's more to it. Because everywhere you're going to place your dice, you get that ability, which kind of at least gets you to mitigate. So you're not just, like, getting rolled, oh, fuck, all ones came out, great, and I'm left with the shitty dice. You can place it in a spot that you can turn that one into a 6. Or stuff like that, or move it to kind of your lower attributes you're trying to meet are now a lot more manageable. So I think I actually really like this game.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun and has enough thinking where it's not going to be brain burning, or by the end you're like, oh fuck, but you're still challenged throughout the thing. And sometimes you're going to have to make decisions where it's like, fuck, okay, I can't go for that, but I can go for this method and try and get some points. What do you guys think overall?
I feel like I'm about to rate it. Yeah, no. I really liked it. I was surprised because I didn't really have a concept coming in because I was sick when we did a trial playthrough.
Yeah.
So it was a nice surprise because I tried to come in neutrally,
Mhm.
and I did, and I sat down and I was like, okay, we'll put everything together. And then once we really started playing, like, time flew by. Like, I think we started around, like,
Yeah, the game was about an hour and a half.
yeah, so,
Really?
yeah, no,
It didn't
it's
seem that
already
long.
11. It's already 11
Yeah.
right now,
Wow.
and for me, for a game to go by quickly is a big deal, because obviously I was having buttons. So.
Right, because you're invested. Each turn is gonna, like, you're not waiting for someone to do something. Like, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna roll the dice. Everyone, they're easy to place. It's not like you're trying to think of where they go. It just goes lowest to highest. And then to be fair, okay, if you want the high result, you're gonna go last in the market. So I'm sure there were times where everyone was like, I really want that market card. So damn it, that
Gotta eat crow.
Yep. And it's like, okay, so I'll just take that, and you can go ahead and take. We can all just do it pretty much at once,
Just
and
about,
then,
yeah.
and then place it. And I mean, if you play with the honesty method, which we all trust each other,
Right.
so you can just do your action, and then everyone's.
Little
I
did
actually.
he know.
You're like, Seth, you've only taken ones, and I have all 6s. I don't know what you're talking about, but so you get to do that, and that's what makes the game go by real quick. Everyone's invested at what you're taking, and there's no fuck you element in the
Oh.
game. The only thing is like, oh, huh, you need that. You could just be like,
Mark it.
be like,
Trash.
yeah, trash it. But ultimately, because gold doesn't really do a whole lot for you, we'll talk about the expansion in a sec, but gold doesn't do a whole lot for you if you're just going to keep trashing it. So if you're gonna be that guy and just trash it each time, you're not helping yourself and you're just being a dick. And I don't play with people like
Or
that.
you build up for that fucking fearless card in game.
9 gold.
for 4 stars.
Right, but stuff like that'll move your alignment. And so if you got your alignment set, it sucks. My ability, and it took me so long to get my alignment down. I would have gotten a gold at the start of each round if I got it on the 3. I never did until the very end. The very last turn, I'm like, tumble, move over. And then I was able to finish my my wisdom. So you have a lot of dice mitigation, which in a game like this I really like. Like, yeah, you can be like, oh man, the colors didn't really come out the way I want them to, but there's cards and market stuff and abilities and items you can get that can affect that. Like, if you're like, oh, all those results suck with Intimidate, if you can move your alignment, you can wipe them all and at least get the result you want. My tumble...
Or fuck someone else over after
Yeah.
I take the good one and like, oh, I'm gonna re-roll them all now.
Yep. And, or
Like,
tumble...
oh, they came out all 6s and an 8. Shit!
Right. So there's that. Like my tumble ability, like whenever it was the last turn, and you didn't pull any blacks, and I was like, ah, shit. Is there still a black die in here? Because I need to get that. So, I personally really like that. And I don't know. There's really not a whole lot to the game.
Right.
I really don't have much to criticize.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would criticize
The
is
Kraken's
it
ability.
ended up working out, but at a 2-player game, you get, for startup, you roll 6 dice, because it's number of players plus 4. So in a 4-player game, everyone's getting 8 dice. I did not like setting 8 dice at the beginning.
Right.
I was like, because yeah, you could be like, okay, I'll fill them up, because you're probably going to get, most likely you'll get some of your backstory. If you fill them up, you might be able to get some of your class, and then you'll start with extra gold. And that's fine, and it probably balances itself out. But if you're going to do that, that means you're not going to get abilities that you want. So, like, I purposely didn't fulfill strength at the beginning because that's a really good ability.
I didn't touch him
You
in
didn't?
the beginning because I knew I was going to want to re-roll some stuff.
Right? So you're definitely smart about your placement at the beginning. But I personally liked 6 because there were 6 attributes. So you can just do 1 right down the middle if you wanted to, or fulfill completely 2. I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
I thought it was fine.
8 dice at the
Yeah,
beginning?
I mean, obviously I didn't have anything to compare it to, but
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
fine.
I feel it's at your pace a little bit. It can give you something to work for.
Right.
You've got errors to fill, give you something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not even a big complaint. It's just kind of like,
Right.
it was weird.
And with 8 dice, that's 2 less
guess
rounds of 4 people that you've got to worry
That
about.
is true. That is true.
So,
With especially with the cards that come out, I do like the fact that the way the market cards come out will alter how you're gonna play, and because some of them you can go for end game scoring, which I always like. I always love games that have points at the end. It's not just how it is how it is, where you can see it throughout the game, being like, oh,
Yeah.
Seth is at 60 and Devin's at 80. Okay, there's no fucking point,
this was a super close game too.
Right? It was 35, 34,
27.
27,
31.
31. So from highest to lowest was 8 points.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no highest one, or even 3rd place was
You were
I
4
got
points away.
lucky me, I got 10, level 10.
Yeah, I got
And Taylor
3
got
points.
31, yeah.
Yeah,
If I would have had 2 more dice, you never know.
right? And that's the other thing is if Kat got 2 more armor sets,
Yep.
she would have gotten a bunch of extra points. And
Yep.
so I really like the fact that points come up at the end and everything is manageable whenever you're trying to get. It's not going to be a high scoring game. I was 20 points away from 55, and
Yeah, I think 55 is literally.
it might also be for solo play because you can play this game solo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're pretty much, I think you're going and aiming for fighting the Kraken.
That would be so many rounds, so many different dice you gotta play.
Right, I don't know how-
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I'm sure you don't start with 5 dice.
Let's say you start with 2 plus the amount of players.
Yeah, I don't know.
15 rounds of. But you don't have to wait on other people, so I guess.
So, yes. So there's that. That's the base game. The only thing that I think is kind of lacking is, I mean, it works, but your alignment is just kind of like, there's not enough. I mean, I think the alignment works really well because that's going to dictate how many skill cards you're going to get to use and how many you get to buy. And you can only use skill cards once per turn. They refresh. So you can't just, like, if I was all the way over here, I couldn't use Tumble twice or something. I like that aspect, that your alignment is what dictates what you're using. But what I don't like is that I think it's too easy to get 3 points.
All right, so I want to actually kind of disagree with that. Yeah, I will agree and disagree. Yeah, it's really easy to get 3 points.
Okay?
But I did not, like, beyond loyalty moved me over to my 3-point spot.
Mm.
I didn't buy a single trait. There
Yeah.
were several I wanted to buy,
Oh.
but I was already on my 3.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it was...
It was limiting because you either want the 3 points or do you want the skills?
Right, and so
That's
I
interesting.
chose, well, I've already got the 3 points, you know, if I just focus on this and, you know,
Mhm.
meeting the goal of what I bought, then...
That's fair. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Devin, what do you think? With you weren't even listening.
Well, we talking about the skills?
Alignment.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
thing was it's really easy to get to 3, and there's not enough penalty.
It's easy
Or-
to get there, but I mean, to stay on there, as long as you have the XP.
You gotta make a
is-
lot.
I mean, the fact that it's only one spot and there's so many different benefits to actually moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can always mitigate that with wisdom, but that's very limited.
Right. You get 3 times technically to move it around. Well, more with the expansion now.
Yeah, that's what I did with the intimidate, move right, wisdom back,
Yeah.
intimidate, wisdom.
Right. Or yeah, if you get.
If I had gotten tumble, I thought about it.
Man, that would have been. You would have been like, oh, okay, let me exchange this one. Oh, then re-roll all
Reroll.
of them. Yeah.
Oh, look, 6s across the board.
And the die I want. Look at that. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't. So yeah, and then Kat had the spell book, which
It was when another player looks at any adventure card game one.
you didn't even do that,
No,
did
I
you?
forgot.
I'm like, cause I was fucking behind on every time because the monsters. Yeah,
The adventure card?
Huh?
The adventure card? What was that?
These are the adventure cards.
Oh, okay.
So every time someone looks at them, she would get an XP
I think by the
for it.
time I got it, it
She
really.
was been like,
Well, no, by the
all of us looked.
by the time I got it.
You still would have gotten probably at least 5 XP in that.
Luckily, I didn't need it.
I went, and all mine were like level 1. The Jewel Dagger just gave me an extra +1 to all my gold dice, which is what helped me get my attributes. And then the wand would have been more beneficial if the Kraken wasn't fucking, oh, hey, if you have blue dice, you'll kill me. I'm like, I have 2. Still came in handy. I still got a lot of dice, but barely. Like, I would have gotten 6, 10, I would have gotten 12 dice to roll against him with my wand. So, it's interesting. Which is a good segue to the expansion. The expansion added the monsters. And I think more market cards. So what do you guys think of the monsters? Like, there's the minions and then the one monster. There's always ever going to be one monster that will be at the very end of the game.
I think that's cool because it gives you something to look forward to, and the monsters are fun because you get to look at the monster's abilities, but
Right.
also you just get to have something to do and to grind for and get your little pluses.
Right?
Yeah, it makes it more interesting rather than, just strictly market. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, what's the most beneficial market card?
Yeah.
Or do I want more gold? That
I
is
don't think
literally
that
all you
was-
can do. Otherwise, that adds, I now can hunt.
Exactly. The only reason, because I wasn't going to get role player initially. The expansion is what put it back on Kickstarter. It's just I got the pledge that gave me the base game as well. I don't think I would own the base game by itself. It's good by itself,
Yeah.
but I really like the fact that it's like, okay, because what you want to do whenever you build a character in any RPG is, yeah, that's the fun part, but you want to use them. Like, you don't want to just build it and hang it up and be like, ah, that was great. That's such a good idea. Too bad I'll never get to... Here, at least the minions are, like, based off of kind of how your character works, so a lot of times, most of them were built for Cat. Like, it's like, oh, if you have blue dice, hey, if you have int filled up, and I was like, I don't have any of those.
I got
"Great,
really
what?"
lucky with my 4 dice right off the bat in the very beginning.
That can also
Yeah.
skew things. So it was like,
You'll see that
Damn.
on my Instagram post too.
so, and the monsters are cool and they vary. I think ultimately they're pretty easy to kill. Very rarely are you. I mean, because you're not going to go fight it if because the skeleton rider on here you need an 11. There were a few times while we were playing where like a few of us got like just on the cusp.
Yeah.
But that was whenever we went in and we're like, ah, fuck it, I'll try it with 2 dice, or I'll try it with 3 and see what happens. And the dice just went our way. It could easily go the other way where it's like, all ones? What the fuck? But you can spend XP, and that's another thing I really like. Instead of just being like, oh, I'm filled up on my attribute, that's it. You can go hunt and get XP and spend 5 or 4 in your case to be able to do it again. And you can definitely, like last time we played, you had like 10 XP and you like doubled up, so you can set that I'm gonna do it like this and then I'll be able to do this.
But then I realized how beneficial that would have been towards the final boss.
Right?
And I was like, well, I can take a hurt here, but that way I'll
But
have like a fuck ton of
8
dice.
points at the end if you get 28 or higher. So what do you guys think?
Rating wise?
Yeah, for the monsters.
Oh, for the monsters, I don't think it'd be the same without it.
Yeah, right? I
I
think, base game was missing something, and
Right.
the monsters was that thing.
I could see how the base game would be very fun.
Right.
Because it's still just an interesting way to put a twist on just rolling a set of stats.
Yeah.
I mean, because when I played D&D a lot, and my dad played D&D a lot, and everything else, I mean, we'd find different ways to roll stats. We'd roll
Right.
6 sets of 6, or we'd roll 3 dice, and you can either take the top or the bottom. Just different little
Oh, that's
things.
interesting.
Just to make it interesting. And so
I haven't heard that one. That's a good one.
And so this game kind of fills that role, and it's a lot better with the monsters.
Right. What was I gonna say? I like the fact of I like the attack, obstacle, and location. So
I almost wish they weren't quite so narrow, but in a way I don't think they could not be.
right, like they couldn't be so obscure that because it'd be why have it.
Right.
Like, but that's why you go hunt, because then once you get a trophy, you get to look at it, and
Yeah,
you can be like, so if you hunt and kill all quick, then you can build strictly for
Maybe
that.
we should have been hunting earlier, which would have added more difficulty
some
to the monsters.
Cat did.
Right. Well, she also got pretty lucky right off the bat,
Right.
too. So that way you're incentivized to attack earlier, so you can know this earlier, so you can adjust your stuff.
No, absolutely.
And that would have probably added that level of difficulty to the monsters that you were
Right,
looking for.
right. So everything you do in this game, kind of like Scythe, which I love, is a double-edged sword. Because whenever you go hunting, you're hunting and you're not buying. There's stuff out there where it's like, oh shit, I really want that, and that's helpful. But I can also kill that monster, which will also help me, and you have to make those decisions. Yeah, do you guys have any negative things to say?
Not really. There's nothing that not really.
Right? I mean, the only other negative I could
I have
possibly think
one
of...
negative thing. The 5 gold piece
Says 3.
says 3.
Oh, maybe they are worth 3.
You. So we were as long as we were all consistently mismanaging our money.
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
Well, I mean, if we all were universally understanding
Yeah.
that piece is a 5,
Right.
We usually
Then
silver
there's
I'm
no
trying to
issue.
find it. It just says 60 gold.
Oh.
Thanks! Yeah,
it's probably worth 3. It's obviously 3.
Right? Seth's just mildly.
We
Yeah.
were a little
Well, what
inflated
fucking
on-
silver piece in any game is 3 unless
That's
you're a
true.
downy? Fucking, like, every silver piece is always 5.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like I was like, no, it's 5 for me, and it's 3 for everyone else.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
still-
were all doing that, yeah.
Still, it's not like we had a plethora of gold at any time anyway. So, I mean, even then I was going to say another negative, which depending on how you want to look at it, is Cat started out with a shit ton of blue, which only worked out. Or last time you and I played, I was the assassin, and I had like, my starting was like 4 black. So that's 4 points right off the bat. But double-edged sword again is, yeah, that's 4 points there,
But it may
but
be
I'm
a 1, a 2, a 4.
yeah, it could be a shit result, but it could also be, oh, now it's difficult for me to get my backstory because I don't have a huge array of colors.
I mean-
I'm stuck on that.
That's just the randomness of dice.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
And unlike a lot of other games, this just gives you the ability to try and counteract as much of that randomness as you can.
Right.
yeah.
Which
Do you
is
guys
great.
think?
So,
So 2 more things. Do you guys think this game's too random?
no.
No.
Neither do I. It's
I think it's perfect.
Just the right
Right.
amount of random.
Right. Second, you won't be able to contribute to this. Do you think you can own this game and Sagrada
Yeah.
at the same time? Why?
Well, why not?
Because they're both dice worker placement.
I don't see
Well, not
it
dice
that
worker
way.
placement, dice placement. You roll dice and you place them in certain areas.
Yeah, but with
you're getting
Sagrada,
it confused. This is a convoluted D&D character generator. Thank you very much.
This is not a game. This game is the prequel to D&D.
There
I
you
don't know
go.
because
We have our character sheets.
Yeah, we
right
are.
here.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm Pompous.
I cannot wait to play with
I'm
Gabel's
R2
Diaz.
Iron Agatha.
Yeah, so Pompous Spankin is my elf character. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. That's something really cool. Like, Hunt for the Ring, you can play that and then lead it into War of the Ring. This one, you technically could.
It's even based off of non-copyright D&D character sheets.
It pretty
Yeah.
much is.
Like this is almost
Absolutely.
exactly like the one
The-
that's in the back of the minus skills and whatnot.
Yeah.
In the back of the player's
Oh,
handbook.
your feats?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, because
Skills, feats.
technically... Oh, yeah, traits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
just-
you just make these traits. That's kind of like
It's
your
just a different
backstory.
name. Yeah.
And well, no, because feats are extra stuff you can do in combat.
Shut
But yeah, you just replace it. Hey, a jeweled dagger. I just have a dagger now. It doesn't give. It's not like I have gold dice, but it's just a very nice dagger, and I have a wand. And those are the items you can relate
We'll
to your
see
character.
that gold dice is what made you be able to get this nice, fancy, expensive
Yeah,
dagger.
and that is interesting. Are we gonna do that?
Yeah, I'll totally run a campaign.
We'll just do a one shot
Oh, yeah.
D&D with these characters.
I will. Absolutely.
Just flesh it out with a couple of extra skills and feats, and just think a level 1 something. We'll try and kill a kraken.
No, we should do level 20. we should kill gods.
Oh yes.
With our
Zeus. Or what was it like? Their obscene like stats.
The gods in fucking D&D, where it's
Or
like,
Anubis.
no, you need to. Oh yeah, no, dude, you need to look up Terrasque.
I know what a Tarrasque is.
What the fuck did you call it?
Q-U-E.
The Tarrasque.
A-S-Q-U-E can also sound like
Get
ask,
out,
so
get
it's
out.
a Tarrasque.
You're so wrong. we could. Terrasques are fucking insane. All right,
They only
so
come out like once every couple of centuries or some shit.
yeah, it's some outrageous amount. They're like,
What are we talking about?
it's a monster in D&D. It's called a Tarrasque. It's called a Terrasque.
Oh.
But
It's called a down
their
syndrome.
stats are like outrageous. Only one can exist in a plane at
Oh.
any time, and if it dies, it doesn't even die. I think it goes to sleep forever or something. That
For
wakes
another
it.
couple centuries. Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
It's an
Oh,
ancient
oh,
one.
shit.
It's essentially an ancient one. You don't kill it. You just put it back to sleep, so the next generation can
So
deal
what
with
does it
it.
take?
In
Like a team of
D&D lore,
520s
it
to
is
take it
it's
down.
Yeah.
officially Tarrasque.
It's
Yes.
what?
It is Tarrasque.
Did you listen to it?
No, I looked it up on the D&D forum.
Uh,
Officially, it is
okay.
Tarrasque. I'm just
In
saying.
5th edition, the stupid edition.
I didn't say what edition it was. It's just on there.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm
You're
actually
just
very
mad.
I'm very excited for that. But I really have not a whole lot to still say about it.
No, it's great.
We will start with here. Everyone roll a die.
No, let's just rate it.
Everyone roll a die.
Oh my god.
Roll a fucking die.
I'm so
Initiative.
liking this. 5.
Okay, you start. Scale of 1 to
I'm
10.
giving this straight up 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
We'll go this way. Scale of 1 to 10.
It only gets a 5. It only gets a 5. I'm sorry. It rolled a 5.
It
You
should have done
forgot
better.
to use your con ability.
Oh, okay. So it's 6.
Oh,
You could have given it a 4.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
It was fun. It was entertaining. Just the right amount of random and planning. You always had something to think about. But
And it wasn't expensive either.
How much was it? Out of curiosity, because that might.
I should factor that into my ratings
Into
because I feel like
This
price
is a
really
Kickstarter
affects
game,
me.
right? While you think of that, I can look it up real quick as well. It's no 150 for a shitty game.
Oh my
Is it
god.
less than 100?
I think
for,
so.
For both?
Yeah.
$95.
I mean, because just a D&D book alone is $35 plus.
That is true.
So.
It cost me, with this plus the expansion, stretch goals, it was 89.
Okay.
I also technically got a deluxe print and play, but I never did it. So 89.
With extras and junk.
Yeah. And the metal coins and stuff.
So,
So yeah.
it's fun.
Right? still waiting on Devin's rating.
Let's do.
Roll those dang old dice again, Devin.
What feels?
Here, we'll add a couple more.
Yeah, what's our roll rating?
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 9.
Give it a 9.
Yeah, I liked it.
I don't know if I'd go that high.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
we got it.
Never mind,
I mean,
It's
it was.
actually-
I mean, it's entertaining, but there's no like. I really want to come back to this and play it forever.
Right, that's the thing, is
7.5.
That's fair.
7.5.
Yeah.
Is the replayability there?
Yeah.
You think?
Especially if they keep coming out with maybe more expansions,
More
classes.
expansions,
Yeah.
more cards, yeah.
Um,
I don't know how. The monsters was pretty much the only thing I can think of that, goes into this, unless they do come up with a campaign. Like, you actually take them out and have adventures.
That would be awesome.
That'd be a badass fucking
Right, like
expansion.
your first game is building your characters and fighting a monster, and then you get to go and do
Yep.
something.
Yeah. I think this game has a lot of potential.
Mhm.
It's not quite a 10, but it's pretty damn close.
Alright.
I mean, it just hits a lot of positive notes with me, and it's like thematically correct to everything that it is.
Yeah, that's true.
And,
That's true. Obvious D&D.
yeah, and so I'd give it a 9.5. And if you ever decide to get rid of it, I won't.
Okay.
Nice.
That's the thing is, I do think you could have this in Sagrada. Sagrada, I think, is a gateway game to this. This has enough depth and decisions that you want to make that take it up the next level, and it's a D&D character generator, which if this works, is just a fun way to do one-shots.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think it's a 9 for me. I don't think the replayability is quite there. I'm kind of with Devin on that, where, like, do I want to play this? Yeah. Like, I would definitely play it on any day of the week, but I'm not going to put it above anything else. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, let's fucking play Role Player again. So I'm gonna sit at an 8 for me, because, yeah, like you said, the thought's there, the strategy is there. It can be stressful, and you're like, okay, I really fucking need I need that dice right now, or fuck you, taking that 6, stuff like that. So yeah, 8 for me. Anything
I have a hard time giving it anything lower than that, just because I can't think of a negative, really.
That's true.
Right.
So.
And you would think, oh, there's no negatives in the game, so it has to be a 10.
No.
But like the for what the game is and the dice placement is still something that I'm not like raving about.
Oh, okay.
So that's why. Don't get me wrong, like I said, Sagrada and this are super fun, and other dice games I do enjoy. They did a very solid job. The mechanics are solid. It works beautifully. But where Devin and I agree on the fact that there's no like wow factor in it. It is at its core a D&D or a character generator. You're literally placing 18 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's really not enough for me to constantly bring it to the table, like a lot. So an 8's still a good rating. Like
Oh, yeah.
there's not a lot of games at this point that I still give that high of a rating. So 8, 9, 7.5, and 9.5. So I mean that's still a really good score from 4 people. So that's it, everyone. That's Role Player and the expansion. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. But other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.
Hey!
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.